Patrons.
Hello.
So funny story. It is now, I don't know, it's 3:27 a.m. Central Time, so that means it's 1:30 for Annika. Are you Mountain or Pacific?
No, I'm Pacific.
Okay. For some reason I kept thinking you were Mountain Time.
Mm.
And I went to bed at like 9 o'clock tonight and then woke up at 2:30 or something, 2, because it's what my brain does sometimes. And I got on Instagram quick, and then all of a sudden I saw Annika sent me a post. And I was like, why is Annika awake? So I was like, wanna knit? And they were like, okay.
And the reason why Annika is awake is because Annika took a 2-hour nap earlier this afternoon. And now my body is like, nah. So.
We are talking about, we've been chatting about sweater construction. Because I am to the yoke. I'm knitting the yoke of my EPS system sweater. I'm started, you can see the raglan decreases. I don't know how well you can see them, are starting at each of the 4 corners.
I love raglan decreases.
Me too. I love raglan sweaters. And then I was realizing, telling Annika that I want to shape the neck, do neck shaping in the back. And so just, this is the first sweater I've kind of like just made up as I go using the percentage system. And I'm loving the process because I'm learning a lot about construction, and I'm learning so I paused, so I got out Elizabeth's books, several of them that I have, and looked, and then I just had to stop and think about it, like, okay, what does neck shaping do? Neck shaping makes the back taller than the front, which you want so you're not getting choked by your sweater and tugging it down.
Unless you're into that sort of thing.
Unless you're into that, which no judgment, you do you. And then I was like, but like how does it impact like what different kinds of shaping? You know what I mean? And like what kind of necklines do I traditionally like, which is more wider, like boat necky kind of things. So then I started thinking that, okay, so to get that, and I'm just loving this process of having to really think about, it's like the difference between memorizing facts and understanding like does that make sense? Like I'm not just following, like I'm understanding construction and everything. And the thing that I like is I was reading in the workshop when I was reading her stuff on neck shaping. She's just kind of like, if you don't know what kind of sweater you want, cast on the body. Because if you do bottom up, you have until you join the sleeves to decide. So you have 2 sleeves to knit and the body up to your armpits to knit before deciding what you want your sweater to look like. Like, do you want to have color work? I mean, if you want a like pattern, stitch design pattern, you're going to have to put that in sooner, obviously. But you can even put that in the bottom. Like, what do you want? What kind of yoke do you want? Do you want raglan, or do you want to do a drop shoulder? Do you want, a traditional yoke? Like, what do you want? And it's just so cool that she's like, I just love her like nonchalance about it all. Like, yeah. Just start knitting. We'll figure it out together as we go. And I think she like creates a sense of confidence in knitters, I feel like. What are your thoughts?
I think so the majority of the experience that I've had with her is through the almanac, and like her almanac posts or like chapters are a lot like current day bloggers, where you have to like scroll through this person's life story to be able to find the actual pattern. And like once you get there, it's like a really good pattern, but like you have to scroll through like several pages worth of like why the cold crisp air reminded them of this memory from when they were 6 first. And so, like, that's amusing that she was doing that all the way back in the 70s. But I don't know. I mean, I've made her hurry up last minute sweaters so far, and I have an EPS on my list to knit. But I don't know. I really like enjoyed it, though. I felt like the way that she wanted things to like attach to each other. If you've never done like a bottom up raglan before, or like any of her sweaters, like direction wise, like I personally was really confused. Um, but now that I understand like what she means, like I think it'll be way easier when I do the EPS. So I'm looking forward to that personally.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do another one. Annika and I have been talking. So another point Annika made that I think was a really good point that they made was that, like, yeah, Elizabeth Zimmerman was size inclusive in the 70s. And she was. Because all of her stuff is pretty much recipes.
Yeah.
Like, and the ones where she does give a cast on amount, she's like, but that doesn't work for you. Cast on more. And just like, And I would encourage every single knitter. Like, I get where if you're a beginner knitter, brand new, maybe following patterns a few times will be helpful. Maybe not. I don't know. I would encourage every knitter to try doing one of these because it helps you really understand construction, I think. But I learn by doing, so that's me. What are your thoughts? Don't you think everyone should do one of these? And there's something cool about having...
I mean, I think at this point, you and Sultan have gotten me onto the Elizabeth Zimmerman train. So, yes, I think everyone should do one because, like I said, she's been size inclusive since the 70s, like way before it was cool to be size inclusive. And thanks to her recipes, like the knitwear will fit literally every body, which is really cool. But, I mean, personally, I learn by like watching. Like I'm a very visual learner, and so I don't know. Like I also personally, I found like knitting a couple like sweaters where I didn't have to do the math to be helpful. Just like especially in the beginning. So I could like one because part of it's learning how to read a longer pattern like that and like find where you are, I guess, like which I think is honestly like a helpful skill and a skill that newer knitters might not have. And we actually taught quite a few like pattern reading classes when I worked at the yarn store, because a lot of people didn't know how to do that. But
okay,
I don't know.
You know what? I'm about to blow your mind. The Knitting Workshop is on DVD.
Is it really?
She did a series on PBS.
That's amazing.
Back in the day. And Matthew bought me the DVD. I don't know if it survived some of our DVD purges, but I'm going to look, and if it did, I'm going to see if there's a way I can convert it to digital format, because who has a DVD player anymore?
I don't know. My laptop doesn't even have a CD drive anymore, so...
I'm going to see. But... yeah. I should go to Schoolhouse Press and see if they sell a digital download of it. That would be cool. That'd be super cool. I watched the beginning of it. When I got the DVD, he gave it to me for Christmas, and one night, we were living in Germany at the time, and I just remember, okay, you know how we talk about how she's really, like, empowering in the books? It's, like, 3 times that way on the DVD. Like,
That's amazing.
Never done color work. I'd only ever followed patterns. And she was like, okay, like pick a random wool that you like for a hat. And let's just, figure out, she just tells you, figure out your cast on and just cast that number on. Now let's just take a piece of paper and chart out a little design you like. Don't get too over the top about it. Just what looks cute to you. Like, okay, let's just start knitting that now in color work. And I'm like, it was like 4 a.m. I'm knitting a color work hat that I designed the motif for.
I feel like it being 4 a.m. is like a really important part of this story for you because of the things that like you have just decided that you're going to do in between like 3 and 5 a.m. So
yeah, it is. So if you have, let me quick look. Where's my phone though? Hold on, here it is. We're gonna look patrons for you. I think Yelly's up. I think
really?
I just got a thing that they added to their story. Do you want to see if they're up while I look for this?
Sure.
We can get them in on the game too. Maybe not for patrons, but okay.
She last posted 45 minutes or 36 minutes ago.
Okay. I just thought she uploaded her she did her stories, but maybe that was it.
It was 36 minutes ago.
Okay. Old notification. If they don't have the DVD, you know what I might do? Hold on, people. They have it. They have the knitting workshop streaming video for $40.
Whoa.
And it's totally worth it, people. This is it. Look at this. And it's just her talking because this is a 6-hour PBS TV series for $40 is what you get. She's like the knitting grandma we all wanted.
She does look like the knitting grandma that I wanted.
I mean, my grandma knit though, but not much. She was more crochet and needlework and sewing, a seamstress, but she was awesome.
Neither of mine did that.
Mm-hmm. So, go to Schoolhouse Press. You can get the streaming DVD, the streaming video, which I'm going to buy and download tonight and watch some of because she makes me smile.
So, weird thing here. Schoolhouse Press reminded me of Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah.
And then my brain went from Schoolhouse Rock to the Crocodile Rock, and now that song is stuck in my head.
Wow, you've got some old school Elton John in there.
Yeah, but like the version that was played in the Crocodile Hunter movie, not like old school Elton John.
Oh, I didn't watch the Crocodile Hunter movie. But
what?
You need to really get the Elton John one in your head instead.
But Steve Irwin's amazing. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Elton John singing it, but every once in a while there's Steve Irwin saying crikey and woohoo, and like that's the part I'm pretty sure it's like the main identifier between the two. So
all right, well, I guess this will be our day 30 Vlogmas. We have 1 day left. And there's a few days we've missed, but we have plans, and we're just going to go back, date them, and put them in. I have one I'm going to record. And, yeah.
I still need to record one, too.
Yeah. It'll be there, people.
Eventually.
And then we're going to do extra content for you all in January, too, when Annika's here. So I have a plan, Annika. I haven't, gotten my partner's consent for this plan, but he'll be game. That when I come to the airport, I bring Matthew with me, and he can video us getting to see each other for the first time, and we can share it with our patrons.
Okay.
That would be good. Because I'm going to give you a giant hug.
Yay.
So, okay. See you later, people.
Bye.
Bye. Elizabeth Zimmerman for day.